What's up everybody, Dagrin here, and this tutorial here is going to highlight the infinite double jump for a little Genesis game called Chakan the Forever Man. I've been getting a number of people coming to me trying to figure out how to do this exploit properly. It's pretty simple, but it also can be a bit complex, and it can be a bit difficult understanding the timing of the infinite double jump. I'm making this video as a way to try and help people out and trying to understand it a little bit better. There are some aspects of the infinite double jump that I still haven't quite understood myself. I'm no such luck in trying to explain that, but I'll try and explain what I do know about it. So the first major thing to note when it comes to learning the infinite double jump is basically picking a sort of button config. It's choosing a certain configuration of the buttons. Like, the major thing that I'm going to suggest to a lot of people is make sure that whatever button is designated to the jump button, that is the button you're going to primarily finish the combination of the infinite double jump with. So let's say, for instance, you hold the controller kind of like this, like piano tapping with these two buttons. If your dominant finger that you like to finish with is the middle finger, then you best probably make the C button more than. I'm actually not showing the controller properly here, but if you want to make, if your dominant finger to finish the combination with is the index finger, I would highly suggest the B button. Now, of course, you may prefer A and B to use instead of C. Maybe your C button's worn or something. Whatever the case is, I mean, you can pretty much work with whatever combination you want, as long as you understand that it's pretty important that whatever is your dominant finger to end with is the one you designate the jump button to. In my case, it's the index finger, so I designate it as the B button. So, with that being said, let's go. Now, the first thing I'm sure most people probably want to do is practice this. And this spot right over here is the perfect place to do it. I'm going to climb all the way up to the very top of the screen right here. You can see all this room here. This is a great place to practice the infinite double jump. It's nice and high. You got a lot of room to work with. Move up. And yeah, so I guess the first major thing is that most people, when they try to learn how to do this trick, you probably notice I'm using my fingers instead of my thumbs. The thumb can do it just fine, but of course it is a bit slower, and actually no, it's a lot slower. And in all honesty, it's much more tricky. Like, I'm just gonna say this right now, just learn to piano tap the Genesis keys. You're gonna love this, learning this exploit so much more when you learn how to hold the controller like this, like the way I'm doing. My leg is right here. It's a perfect resting place for the controller, and I prefer the 3-button controller layout just because the buttons are much bigger, so it's actually a lot less, it's a lot easier to time your button presses better. Of course, if people prefer the D-pad on the 6-button controller, you know, all the more power to you. If you find the button sizes more, you know, better for you, you know, that there's nothing stopping you from learning off the 6-button controller, but my preference is a 30-button controller. So the first major thing I think a lot of people probably potentially screw up a lot when they try to learn the infinite double jump is they often do the spin attack at some point in the combo. This is a result of usually one rapidly pressing B and C. You can still do the infinite double jump for quite a while, but usually you'll end up doing a spin attack at some point, because what causes the spin attack is pressing attack while you still haven't let go of the B button. So I press the B button, I haven't let go, there's the spin attack after pressing the C button. The spin attack basically happens when both jump and attack are pressed simultaneously. For this trick to work, both these buttons have to be pressed independent of one another. It's kind of like a piston. It's kind of like a dual piston, where one will kind of like go one direction and the other one goes the other direction. You know, you kind of have to think of it like that, where, you know, you gotta have one finger act independently of the other and just keep a constant stream of action going on, alternating between the buttons. You cannot have both of them pressed down, or you will break the combo for one reason or another. Even if you don't end up doing like a spin attack or something like that, and it just ends up being just a regular fall like that, chances are it's due to either mistiming your double jump or holding the jump and then pressing the attack button. And usually that's a result of pressing the two buttons too fast. You have to make sure that there's enough spacing between your button presses. You got a fair bit of time to work with. Of course, you can't be too long, otherwise you will just fall straight down like this or something like that. But that's usually how the infinite double jump kind of works. That's kind of the idea of the infinite double jump. You just gotta time your double jumps just right, and you gotta make sure that when you do the attack, it's not while you're still in double jump. Or it's gotta be when you're not holding down the double jump, or the jump button. And that's pretty much all there is to learn. I guess the one other thing to learn is, how do you move a certain direction? You can't press and hold a direction. You gotta basically tap the D-pad, like that or something. If you try to hold a direction, you won't even do a double jump. You actually can't... Yeah. So you can see that even though my button presses are kind of the same, Chakan's not actually double jumping properly, or not doing the infinite double jump. And that's because you can't just hold left or right when doing this. If you want to move a direction while doing the infinite double jump, you have to just tap the direction you want to go. It's very tricky, and it's probably the hardest thing to actually learn when it comes to the infinite double jump. You see, I just tapped that direction. If you want to be able to move a direction while moving forward, you have to move while on the ground and then let go of the D-pad as soon as you begin initiating your jump, and just let the buttons do the job. Don't try to use the D-pad. Unless you need to change the direction, then just quickly tap the direction and then let go of the D-pad. That is basically how you do the infinite double jump. I'm going to actually try to go that direction, now I'm moving that direction, now I'm moving that direction, now I'm doing that direction. It's very, very tricky to learn how to do it, but basically, stay away from the D-pad for the most part. When you want to really just... When you want to perform an infinite double jump and move a certain direction, like, avoid pressing the D button down. Like, minimize pressing the D-pad at all. Like, tap it one direction, whichever direction you want to go, and then and then just let go of the D-pad. And that's how you do it that way. And that's pretty much all there is. It's a pretty quick and short detailing explanation of the infinite double jump. If you do have any further questions, just leave a comment down below. I'll try and see about answering back to you all on that. Of course, you can also reach me on Twitter if you do want to find out more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and see y'all later.